Alright, so in this video we're going to sketch our qualitative graphs, and you may be sitting there going, but Mrs. Cartwright, we do everything in Math Excel and that's a computer, and how am I going to sketch? We'll get to that. Don't worry, but first we're going to start with how do we go about sketching given information. And so as you read, what you should do is highlight, circle, denote, right? The words, the keywords that help us along. So here we have, a jogger begins her run around a park by increasing her speed. So increasing would be a keyword, until she reaches her normal jogging speed. She then jogs at a constant speed. That's a keyword for most of her run. Finally, she begins her cool down by jogging at a slower rate until she stops. All right. So those are our keywords. So increase would mean that she's speeding up, right? So that's going to mean, and then we're beginning, right? Where do most joggers begin? We didn't just like start jogging at already being, I don't know, 2 miles per hour, right? At some point she was standing still, and then maybe she began to walk, and then that became a jog. So we're going to start at 0, 0. That's where our start's going to be. An increase means that we're going to go up. And then we get to, so I'm going to draw my up. And then we get to our normal jogging speed, and then she becomes constant, right? And constant, we've discussed before, is flat. So now I'm going to, and that's for most of her run. So now we have this flat spot for most of her run. And then she begins her cool down by going slower. So slower is going to decrease, right? Which means down. And so I'm going to go down. And then the stop means I'm going to go to 0. I'm not just going to slow down and I'm out here in the middle. I've actually got to go all the way down to 0. And so there we go. We've sketched a qualitative graph. It really is that simple. Now for Math Excel, really what you're going to be doing is either looking at a graph and matching the situation, or looking at the situation and matching the graph. So let's start with looking at a situation and matching the graph. So you leave home. So when we're looking at a situation and we're given graphs to look from, my suggestion is to look at the graphs first. And the fact that, okay, so over time, and time will always be on your x-axis, we're looking at our distance from home. So I need to be thinking of that as I read this, that we're looking at our distance from home. So we leave home and we ride to the library, where we stay for a while, right? Keywords there, stay for a while doing research for your science report. Then you ride to your friend's house. Okay, so if this is distance from home, then 0 would be home. And so when I'm looking at these two graphs, this is the only graph that starts at 0. And then we ride our bike to the library. I'm just double checking, right? Riding the bike to the library, that's getting us further away from home. We stay at the library for a while, so we're at the library, so it's the same distance for a while. And then we ride to a friend's house, so we're going even further away from home. So this second one is going to be our answer. And again, the biggest clue was the fact we're leaving from home, whereas this one seems like, I don't know, maybe we left a friend's house, we went to another friend and was there for a while, and then we went home. I'm just making stuff up at this point, but this one we're starting somewhere else because our distance from home is a ways away, whereas this one our distance from home is 0. So look for those keywords that will help you figure it out even faster. Next one. So we're going to figure out, match these situations to this graph. So again, I'm going to look at the graph. We have time And then we have height from the ground, and it looks like we're going up. We're staying at the same height for a while, and then we come back down. So here are our options. A jet is coming down from the sky. It reaches a height and stays at that height for a certain period of time. And finally, the jet goes higher into the sky. So that's option A. Option B, a jet is going up in the air. It reaches its necessary height and stays at that height for a period of time. Finally, the jet is coming down to the ground. Option C, a jet is flying at the same height the whole time. Or option D, a jet is going up the whole time. So let's just talk about these two options down here. A jet going up the whole time, that's just going to be a line that is increasing the whole time. So that's not going to be our answer, right? Because this increased, stayed the same, and then decreased. Here, the jet is flying at the same height the whole time. So this, we're just flying at one height. It's one flat line, which is not what our graph matches. So it can't be C either. So now we're going to look at these two. And again, we want to increase, so go up, stay at a height, and then go down. And when we look for that, here we have starting going up, stays for a period, and then goes down. Whereas here we're down, stays, and then higher. So this one's reverse. So we want B for our answer. And that's how you go about matching your graphs to your situations. So until next time.